Hello and welcome to another episode of NathanTeaV. Today's video will be focusing more on the basic tea brewing, the basic tools you need to brew tea in different methods. First, it's the tea ball. You can really get it anywhere. It's anywhere from Walmart, Target, local like ethnic food specialty stores like World Market. They'll have them at tea stores, Teavana. They're like anywhere from $1 to $3. Teavana will probably be like 10 because it's expensive, but they're very, as you can see, they're very small. You can fit it in your pocket if you have to. Very simple. You just open it up, put tea in there, close it, stick it in a cup, and you're good to go. So as long as you have a cup and some tea, you can really kind of brew this anywhere, or use this anywhere. Drawbacks. Well, no, let's go with positives first, because I'm a positive person. It's economical, and that's about it. That's it. Drawbacks. It's a pain in the butt to use, especially if you're using longer leaf teas like basically any Wu Yu rock tea, anything that's not a tightly rolled leaf, or a smaller leaf like rooibos. First of all, you have to break up leaves to get them to fit in here, because I mean, look at how small this is. Just put it up to my face or to my hand. Oh, you can see it's near my hand. You're gonna have to break the leaves, which means you're not gonna get as much flavor. They're gonna be more bitter. And then for the leaves that can go in here, like gaiwan or anything that's tightly rolled, it's not going to be able to properly expand, so you're not going to get as much flavor. Also, if you're like, see the gap in here, leaves tend to escape, smaller leaves like rooibos and things like that, and depending on how good of a filter or a tea ball you have, leaves can make them, like rooibos can make it through the filter. So it's cheap, but you get what you pay for with these. Next, most common, is the Western teapot. This particular teapot, lid comes off. It's got that thing right there below my finger. It's kind of hard to see in the light. Let steam out. It's got a filter on the inside. That's all there is to it. Obviously, you put larger quantities of tea in here. Brew it for anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes. Take the filter out, pour it, it's good to go. Really can't pack this up and take it anywhere. Really, the tea ball is the only thing you can kind of pack up without having to pay a lot of special attention and use a lot of extra care to do it. So you can't really take this anywhere. Uses more tea, depending upon the quantity you're making. It's big, obviously, and there's the greatest margin for error with this, unless you have a glass teapot. Mainly because with something like this, you can't really see inside of it. You open it, you can't really see inside of it, because it's dark in there, since there's no light inside of it. Yeah, I may not be good at science, but I know that much. So it's just kind of typical Western style of brewing tea. There really isn't. I guess the pros: can make a lot of tea. Cons: it's huge. It's just more of a neutral thing, since it's kind of what we're all used to. Next, the gaiwan. Translated from Chinese means lidded bowl. The lid, gai, the bowl, or the wan. Sorry, cost of a teapot. It varies. It can be anywhere from $15. I think this one was like $60, but it's a nicer stainless steel one. Gaiwan. You can get a good gaiwan for $10. It's made out of porcelain, sometimes glass, and rarely like kind of a terracotta clay used for yixing clay teapots. But ceramic's the most common, followed by glass. You use these to brew any type of tea really in the gong fu style. I tend to use it for anything that's a green tea, to anything that's less oxidized than that. So green tea, white tea, yellow tea, occasionally the green oolong. Very simple to use. Put your tea leaves in here, about enough to cover it up with one layer, and then a pinch more. Pour the water in. I have a how to use a gaiwan video though, but I'll just go over it again. Do this, pour it. It's really simple. If you're just getting into tea and you're interested in the gong fu method, or you don't like Western teapots and you don't want to use a tea ball because they're pretty terrible for the most part, I'd go with the gaiwan. I mean, they're popular for a reason, and you don't have to blow 50 bucks on a yixing purple clay teapot. Unless you're cool like me and got one on eBay for $1 cent, but then I had to pay like $30 shipping, so it evened out. Yixing clay teapot. This is a $13 one from Pu'er Shop. It's not a purple clay teapot, just a yixing clay teapot. It's kind of a terracotta clay. It's small because you use it for the gong fu tea ceremony, in which you steep tea or infuse tea anywhere from minimum of 5. 5 is very rare for a minimum. It's usually 6 to 10. It's got the lid that comes off. It's got a little hole for air to escape. I can't tell if you can see. Let me try and shine the light. There you go. See the little ball thing right there? That is a filter. You really don't want to use this for anything other than, or lighter than, a medium oolong. You don't want to use it for a green oolong, or anything less like a green, white, or yellow tea, because it's made out of clay, and most of the time, especially if it's a purple clay teapot, they're unglazed on the inside. They retain a lot of heat, which means they'll cook your leaves. So generally you use these for pu'ers, darker oolongs, sometimes medium oolong. Now with Xisha or yixing purple clay teapots, you can only have one teapot. You can only use one kind of tea with each teapot, and that's, that would be every variety of da hong pao, every xing pu'er, every shu pu'er, every tea kuan yin. Not just one specific kind of tea, from one place. That's because they're unglazed on the inside, which means that they absorb the flavors of the tea with each use. And so over time they absorb all these flavors, and supposedly after each brew, or each pot, the tea will begin to taste better because it absorbs all those flavors, and then it kind of, distributes that back when you make another pot of tea. So these are probably the most expensive. You can easily spend a couple $100 on a purple clay teapot. This one's $13. It's not really a purple clay teapot, but you can scour eBay. You can get a good one for $20, $10 shipping. And they're not the best, but they're pretty good. So they come in many shapes and sizes. Probably spend the most time talking about this because it's the most interesting. They come in many shapes and sizes. This is kind of standard. Sometimes they'll be larger. There can be ones that are this big, almost the size of a Western teapot. There's some that only hold like 80 milliliters, which is about 2.5 ounces if you're in America. They also come in different shapes. Some of them are square, some of them kind of look like pumpkins. They they craft them to look like kind of dragons. And they'll have little things on the bottom that just shows where they're made from. Obviously you can't read this, I can't either. Also, the lids, they come in bigger shapes, or larger lids. Those are for the larger leaf teas, like your da hong pao. This would probably be better for a pu'er because it's more medium. There are even ones that are smaller that you would use for a tea kuan yin, but you don't use a certain type of, you don't have to base it on what leaf you use based on how big the lid is. It just kind of helps, and it also, you know, it's just what you want, what you're in the mood for at the time. So, let's see, anything else? There are other ways to brew tea. I'm not very knowledgeable about them, so I'm not going to try and talk about them when I don't know, especially when I can't even think of any other ones right now. So I guess recommendations. If you're brand new to the loose leaf tea in general, and you don't want to spend any money at all, you don't want to spend much money, you're not sure if you'll like it, go with a tea ball. Don't get a tea that has large leaves, and just keep in mind that this is not going to give you a very good, it's going to be basically the lowest possible quality you can get from loose leaf tea. If you like it, go on to something else. You know, Western teapots are standard if you don't want to spend money on, you know, a gong fu set. You can get a gong fu tea table for about, you can scour eBay and find one for 5 or 10, pay about 10 shipping. I got mine off puershop.com. It's PUERH shop.com. I got mine for about 25, and it's in my other videos occasionally. This is 13. You can buy, you know, you can, well, if you're just getting into gong fu, I just get a gaiwan, and you can get this for 10. You can get the gaiwan, or the little gong fu teacups for like $2 a piece, $1 a piece. Fair pot, which is the little clear glass thing I use, that was like $4, and then a strainer you can get for $3. Overall, you know, if you want to get a pu'er cake or whatever, or just other decent tea for gong fu ceremony, you can really get into it for about $75, and I would highly recommend it if that's something you're interested in, because I believe that's the way to enjoy tea. But if not, there are other options. You know, you can go Western style, you can go with the tea ball. As much as I dislike it, it's very simple. All you need is this in a cup, and tea, and hot water. But you know, I guess I might make a video pretty soon on just how to quickly make tea, because I feel like, especially me when I first started out, I wasn't huge into tea, is because, you know, I thought that, you know, you walk into Teavana and, you know, you see tea that's like $10 an ounce, and it's kind of ridiculously priced, and they have expensive equipment, and I don't really cook aside from making bowls of cereal and ramen, and so, you know, the prospect of making a pot of tea seemed kind of intensive to me, and so I'll make a quick video, like I'll try and make tea in 5 minutes or something. Sorry, I'm speaking so quietly, I don't want to wake anyone up, because it's 12:46 a.m. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, thumbs it up, subscribe if you haven't already. You know, I enjoy comments. I love hearing or seeing what you guys have to say, and I always try to respond. You know, if nothing else, I'll just, you know, reply with a comment. Anyway, I'm kind of tired, and it's late, and I'm not extremely articulate anymore, so I'm just going to cut off the video now. This has been another episode of NathanTeaV. Thank you for watching.